So Stacy, you and Willie, what are you doing to separate yourselves? You've talked a lot about the travel, obviously the education. Kind of, what do you see as your point of difference there in Kansas City?
I think it reminded me when Ted was talking about the interviews that he did in the beginning with COVID. That is what we did. We tried to focus on our referral partners, and we made interviews that then could go on our website and people could see at any time. We might have to go back to that, I'm afraid, but that was a good thing to do because one, it helped them get the word out what they do, but it was also us providing information to those seniors. So that would be a good thing. We've done a number of online, like yesterday we did a downsizing made easy over the Zoom call. You know, those people, they were actually from out of town. And we got to promote Catherine.
Yeah, it was great. We actually had one of the ladies there. She's about an hour from Catherine. So we're able to say she's going to be a great resource in Wichita, but she's moving to Kansas City. So that's a great connection there.
Yeah.
And then there was actually the community that we were doing the Downsizing Made Easy course for. They have a new community being built in Allen, Texas. So later this week, I'm going to be on the phone with her to introduce some of our Dallas-Fort Worth CSHPs to her, because she wasn't aware of our organization at all, and so it was kind of cool to be able to do that.
The director of the local community invited her to our seminar to be able to understand what was going on, so she could use it down there. So,
and we are starting back up with our live Downsizing Made Easy. We're actually gonna do the whole series again, but we're starting off with Downsizing Made Easy on the 9th of September. So super excited to get back to live if we can. We're going to start
planning to.
Yes.
We've
awesome.
made the arrangements. So, but I feel like what Mary said is so important, and I see this so often when we're sitting with a consultation, and like Ted said, we wear our non-real estate hat a lot of the time. We're just here to answer questions and help you figure out what is your next step. And that's what we say. It's one step at a time.
Right.
It's not all going to happen overnight, and that's okay. And we're not going to push you. So, but when you see their shoulders come back up and the face color comes, you feel it's just, that's why we do what we do. We really are different because we want to help them. And that's why.
Nikki, I just had an appointment this week. It's actually just a couple of days ago. And it was at 7 o'clock at night, which is very unusual when you're meeting with a senior couple to have an evening. But the son wanted to be there. But parents had forgotten to tell him. And so they pick up the phone and call him, and he's panicked. And because hadn't been told at all, like this is all very new. But mom and dad had been looking to possibly downsize, and sister had helped go on a couple of tours, but that's all they had done. And so dad gets a hold of son, and he hears us talking about one of the communities, and he's not sure what I'm talking about. And dad has the phone in his pocket, still engaged. And I share this story. So we went into the house, we sat around the table, waiting for son to call back because he's supposedly going to come. And I hear this beeping in his pocket. And I said, I said, Charles, I think your phone's off the hook. So he puts it back on the hook, and son immediately calls. Poor son has been panicked because he can't get a hold of his parents. And I share this story because what happened was the son says, don't sign anything, right? He doesn't know us.
Right.
And I'll be there in 15 minutes. And so we're sitting around the table and just visiting, and his son comes in the house through the garage and says, I'm going to stand, so his guard was up to protect mom and dad.
Right.
And in my hand was the Downsizing Made Easy book. And I said, before we even get started, number one, mom and dad signed nothing. There was nothing to sign today. We're here just to bring education for you. And I handed him the book, and he literally, Nikki, was thumbing through it, and he goes, oh my gosh, this is really good information. This is really good information. And I watched that son's guard just slowly come down. He kept asking questions. He was fully engaged. I share that story because that is where we're different. right? A traditional agent wouldn't do that. They wouldn't have even known about the book, let alone, right? And so they left that night, he left with a book, and it ended that we were going to have a family meeting. That's
Very
the
good.
next step. So I think that's when you ask, how are we different? That's a
Right.
perfect example, just fresh
Perfect.
of what we do. That's different.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Ted.
You know, I just had a young lady approaching 90, just moved to Seattle, and she very independent, telling her daughters what to do. But we had that family meeting. We had the family meeting by Zoom. Okay. And that goes back to asking the question, who else needs to be involved? Who else do you want to have involved? I want the kids involved because the kids don't know me from Adam. Right. So that's another thing that makes you different. Total, I mean, all the books are on the table, open cards, you know what's going on. You want to entertain that. You want everybody to feel comfortable. And, you know, this mom was looking for permission. I said, what is it that you want to do? And she said, I want to go to Seattle and be with my girls. I said, well, what are you waiting for? She goes, I got all this stuff and it's overwhelming. I said, sometimes you just got to say, what the heck, and let somebody else handle it for you. And by the time we were done, she goes, you know what the heck? She's out. She's moved. She's gone. Her house went on the market yesterday. I've got one contract in hand, and another one coming today. She's going to be under contract in a day. And she was just awesome to deal with, but she needed permission to go and do what she wanted to do. And
That's
Mm-hmm.
she didn't feel comfortable. And that's the reward, right? So Willie, you get that. I mean, that's the reward.
Right. Yeah. So some people need permission. Some people need a plan. Some people need a guide. And some people just need to have somebody they can trust, right, alongside them. And what I hear you guys saying is that through all the things that you're doing, you're building all those things into your business. It's not just, I'm here for a contract. I'm here to get a commission check. I'm here to sell a house. It's how do I help you have a great experience, whatever that experience might be. I love it, you guys.